So, it's 2021 and sea shanties are in, which is excellent news, obviously. I am going to go through the writing of a shanty for people to see if I can write one on the fly, and whilst going through it, talk through how I would do it. I think that makes sense. So, sea shanties, what are they? Sea shanties are technically just working sea songs. These days we tend to use it to apply to any folk song about the sea, basically. Usually it's a cappella rather than played with an instrument, but I'm going to kind of go through it with an instrument now because I'm not a good enough singer to just do it a cappella. The Longest John's, their version of The Weller Man, which is kind of taken off on TikTok and everything, and that's a great song. And I'm kind of going to go through how to write a song like that. That's more of a traditional song. It's not a traditional song, it's an older song. And mine will be a fake old song, as it were. So I'll be trying to kind of ape that sound without necessarily. So, first, I think the logical place to start is with the name of the song, which I already have in mind, and the kind of topic of it, the kind of subject matter. And this is important for sea shanties. It's kind of what gives it a lot of its distinctive sound, beyond obviously the rhythm, the melody, and the accompaniment or lack of accompaniment. So you want, well, I'll say what I'm going to call my song first. So I live in Bristol, which is also where the Longest Johns live, and it's obviously famous for being a maritime city back in the 18th century. So I'm going to call this song Ship, Shape and Bristol Fashion, which is a kind of old term to talk about how to prepare goods on a ship in terms of your cargo. It's about tying it all up appropriately so it doesn't, cause a mess. Ship, Shape and Bristol Fashion. I think that's quite good. It should fit rhythmically with a lot of stuff I'm going to try. But generally speaking, if you're writing a sea shanty, there's some sensical, I don't know, like semantic umbrellas you want to work within. So obviously stuff to do with the sea, pirates, working at sea, storms, drinking at sea, friends who died at sea. The mentioning of certain cities always works well. So, Bristol, as I said before, London works, Liverpool works. Liverpool is quite often mentioned because, like Bristol, a few hundred years ago, it was one of the most important maritime cities in the UK. But beyond that, Amsterdam, New York, Nantucket, the island, California can work, Belfast, Dublin. In terms of countries, Spain and Portugal, just the mentioning of these countries within a kind of a cappella folk song about the sea just has a certain ring to it. So it's always a good bet, really. I'll see if I can drop some of those ideas or terms in, but I might not be able to. I'll try my best. But beyond, so the next step for me, when I'm thinking about it, I've already got that title, Ship, Shape and Bristol Fashion, is writing any song. I like to think about what rhythm it'll be in, what meter. So a standard song might be in 4/4. It's quite a standard folk rhythm. It's quite, in anything, pop or rock or anything. And that's just simply bars of 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty simple stuff. It's very popular in folk music and most things, as I've said already. Then you've got your kind of reel, which is very similar. A reel feel is actually technically 2/2, but it feels quite similar. And a lot of instrumental folk music uses that time signature. So you might not be able to differentiate it just hearing it, but really it's just like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And there's also a waltz, which is 1, 2, 3. I'm not really going to try to write a sea shanty in a waltz, but that would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Very popular in folk music and music generally, but it just doesn't feel appropriate to a sea shanty. You want something a little bit more robust. And I think what I'm going to go for, a meter I like a lot, is the kind of 6/8 meter, which is a jig, essentially. You could think of it as a very fast waltz, but it isn't quite the same. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, There's also a slip jig, which is a 9/8, which is essentially just a 6/8 plus an extra 3. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 1. It's a cool rhythm. It's a cool meter. It's nice. A famous song written in that is Rocky Road to Dublin. The most famous versions by the Dubliners. Most people, it's been used in films. It's quite a famous song. It's a good one, but it's quite hard to write in compared to just a standard 6/8. I'm gonna just roll for the 6/8 jig. It's quite a simple one, and a lot of folk music uses that meter, and more specifically of the kind of classic sea shanties, Blow the Man Down uses 6/8, so that's quite a popular one. So I'm just gonna roll with that. I feel like it's a good one to go for. So if we just, that's my kind of meter. It's just going to be chords. I've not decided on the chords yet, but we'll get to that in this kind of meter. So in terms of chord choice, for sea shanties, like most Anglo-Irish, Scottish tradition of folk music, the chord choice, it's all about keeping it quite simple. So if you're in any given key, let's say E minor, which is what I've been playing here, really you want to stick to what are called the diatonic chords, which are basically the chords that make that scale. So you build, I'm not going to get into music theory and explain it all, but I think hopefully most people should get it already. But basically, 1, starting on the 1 chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've forgotten where I am, 5, 6, 7, 8 is back to the start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we're really just going to stick with them. I mean, you can mix it up a bit, you can have some modulation at some point, but for the most part, it doesn't really happen in these kind of folk songs and sea shanties, and it can sound a little bit too much for them. So I'm not really going to go there in the writing of this. One note though is that the 5 chord, which here is the E minor, that's the A minor, it goes back to that. You can change that to an E7 or an E major, which again is a very common technique in all genres of music, but it just, for people who don't necessarily know music theory, it makes the pull back to the first chord quite strong. So really, I'm just going to stick to these chords. I'm not even going to use the second chord, which is this. And you can tell hearing that it's a little bit spicier. I'm not going to use that. It's a bit unnecessary for what I'm doing here. So the spiciest chord I'm going to use is that E7 or E major. Just because it sounds so nice going back to the E minor. But I might not even use that actually. I might not even be in. It depends if I go for a minor key or a major key. Let's see what I do. So we've got a title, we've got some potential lyrical themes, and we've got our basic meter / rhythm. I've decided to keep the chords simple. So usually what I do when writing any song is meter, well maybe name, meter / rhythm. Then I kind of start putting the chords in. So I'm going to go for that next. And this might be a bit boring, so I might edit this down a fair bit. It's just kind of working out which chords fit in. So kind of do it by feel. Obviously I know which chords fit together because of how harmony works, but yeah, there's only really a limited amount of chord progressions you can go for, especially for such a simple, straightforward genre like folk music, generally speaking, or sea shanties. There's, I'm not going to stumble upon anything particularly innovative in terms of chord progressions. But let's see. So that's a C major, and I'm just kind of sitting on that 6/8. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is too cliched. I might actually stick to the minor. So so A minor. And as I said, I got all those chords to choose from. So I'm probably going to go from the root minor chord, I quite like going to the 6th, which is the F in this case, from A minor to F. Ooh. And then down to the C. F to C always sounds good. Yeah, it's just a nice little movement. So yeah, this is the boring bit. I'm probably going to skip ahead here and just kind of show you the final chords. There we go, right, there we go. So A minor, D minor, E7. Yes, I think I know now what I'm going to do. So this is the verse. The verse is generally this is what I have in mind so far. So although I feel at this point I need to go to something else. There's kind of a call and response vibe to it sometimes. Kind of, yeah, it's hard to explain. Do that through once, so yeah, okay, so I've messed around a bit, and I think that's what the verse is going to be like. So we've got, and again, this should appear here, labeled, and the chords written out. So we're just going A minor, F, C, A minor, D minor, E, A minor, F, C, E7 or E major. I can either use that to repeat back to the start of the verse, and you know, it's probably going to be 2 verses and then a chorus, but I'm probably not going to write it all, it's a bit too much. Or I can use that to go into the chorus, or both, really both. I would use it to do both, I guess. So chord wise, let's put that aside and think about the chorus chords. I might change all these a little bit later on to try to fit the melody and the lyrics, but this is the way I do it. Everyone's a bit different. Some people come up with the lyrics first, but this is the way I tend to do it, and the lyrics can come up later. So we finished the verse on the E. And we could go back to the E minor, but I feel going to the chorus we want a little bit of a lift or a little bit of a change. So we're going to go E7, and then we're probably just going to go into more of a major chorus. The verse is predominantly a minor sound, whereas the chorus, I want that lift, which is common, again, in all kinds of music. The Wellerman does this a bit as well, that difference between the more minor key verses into the major chorus. So that's the end of the verse. I'll probably just go back into the F. I'm going to this F a lot, but I feel I like the F to C sound. Okay. Okay, so I have a general idea, and again, the chord should be here, but this is how the chorus I think will generally go. Again, I might change it a bit. F, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, C, F, C, G, A minor, F, C, G, G, and then it would go back into the verse. From that back into the verse, so that last line again would be F, C, G, G, the verse, which is A minor, F, C. I think that works. We'll change it as we go along, just, you know, if that is needed, but it might not be needed. So we've got the lyrical theme. Well, we've got our title. We've got a few themes we might use in there. We have the rhythm, which is 6/8. Then we have the chords, which is A minor, basically in the key of A minor / C major. Same thing, really. And we need the melody. Now, this is the hardest bit, for me at least, because I'm not a very good singer, and melodies are quite hard. So what I'm not going to do in this video is write a 3 or 4 part harmony. I'm not a good enough singer to do that, and I would probably need people to help me. But I'm going to keep it with the accompaniment of the acoustic guitar. And I'm just going to do kind of one line of melody. The harmonies tend to be in parallel anyway, so it's not super complicated. It's not as if the multi-part harmonies are going in different directions. But yeah, ideally, you'd have a bass voice, you'd have the baritone, and at least one tenor, kind of those 3 levels to kind of fill it out. And I can only really do the baritone, and not particularly convincingly. So again, this is going to be heavily edited down. My process for thinking about melodies, folk melodies in particular, is just simplicity, follow the chords. So if I've got an A minor, you want to be singing any of these notes. And obviously you can sing the notes of the scale, but they're more passing notes, so they're more ways to get between chord notes. So the scale is... Doesn't sound right. Play 2 octaves there, but they're the notes of the scale and the notes of the chord. There's fewer of them. So my approach really with folk is just stick, generally, I mean with most genres, stick to the chord tones. And the movement relatively simple. You might have the occasional skip rather than a step, and for people who don't know what that is, a step would be going up basically one bit of the scale at a time. They're steps, whereas a skip would skip any number of notes. So it might be or so if I just noodle and show a combination of skips and steps, yeah, that's a random kind of vaguely folksy melodic thing that combines both steps and skips. And you kind of want to be doing the same with the melody. Keep it quite simple, lots of steps, but the occasional skip to really bring out that folksy, lilting, melodic vibe that I think we all know and recognize intuitively. Anyway, I'm just going to kind of sing along with these chords for a bit and see what I come up with. What are we doing? We're doing 6/8. I feel like I have it for the first couple lines, but I'll soldier on to what else I've got. In fact, there's a lot of repetition, so really the next 2 lines might sound very similar. So starting on the 5th note of that first chord, the E. La la la. And then the next chords, I can't just repeat it because the chords on the last line of the verse are a little bit different. Doesn't sound quite what I want. What I'm playing is quite simple. I'm not even doing what I said before about steps and skips. I'm keeping it really simple here. It'll probably be easy to fill in when I have like lyrics to go along with it. But for now, I think it works well enough. So the verse I have so far, and then I would probably repeat that 2 verses before going into a chorus. So again, just la 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 la. I messed that up a bit. La 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 la. And then into the chorus. Wow, that's really simple. I probably want to do a bit more than that. But at this point, I might just cut forward because it's going to be a lot of me singing badly. No, that doesn't sound, that sounds too, I don't know. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like a sea shanty. Right. I think I vaguely have it, so it's, you know, it's la 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 la. No, it doesn't sound right at all. Maybe I should move on to lyrics, because that's going to determine the melody to a large extent, the rhythm and the way it fits in, and how wordy I'm going to be. So, yes, we've got our chords, we've got our rhythm meter, we've got our title. I've got a vague idea of the melody, but it's probably best to think about lyrics. As I said before, common musical lyrical themes for sea shanties involve these things that should be appearing, hopefully, if I edit it properly. And yeah. So if the lyrics are about ship, shape and Bristol fashion, it's about readying a ship, because you want it to be ship shape. You want it to be ready for the high seas and for a long journey. So yeah. Words, I'm trying to think of specific words that are used or are appropriate to sea shanties. Barrels, hauling things, stowing, stowing, yeah. Sails, yep, the sail. See, I don't know much about ships. I'm not a sailor, so I'm kind of trying to remember based on songs I know. And I'm trying, yeah, okay. Rum, right, rum. They need rum, they're sailors. Something about rum, something about rum. Something rum, no, something rum. Stow the rum, stow the rum. What else did I say? I said sail. Sail's not gonna work here. Stow the rum. Ready the sail. No, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't sound right. Stow the rum, something the barrels. Stow the rum and stow the rum, something barrels. Stow the rum and the barrels. La 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 la. Ah, bring them down. I got it. That took me a few minutes. Stow the rum and bring down the barrels. La 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 la. Right. So, stow the rum, bring down the barrels. I'm trying to think of other things. Cork. Cork is a thing, isn't it? Like Caulk. From what I remember is you use it to waterproof the ships. Yes, cork. I'll look this up so I don't look foolish. Cork. Is that a thing? I think it is. Cork. Let's see. It's a material used to seal joints or seams against leakage. Okay, yeah. Woo. I got it right. Cork. So let's see, I want to make sure I'm using it right. The oldest form of cork consisted of fibrous materials driven into the wedge-shaped seams between boards on wooden ships or boats. Perfect. So it's a material. So it's of those chords. It's A minor, D minor, E7, which I said is kind of the spiciest chord we have here, because it leads so nicely back to the A minor. I'm just distracting myself by saying that, aren't I? Oh, these lyrics are hard. So we need to make sure we have enough cork. Cork enough. No, what? Cork enough. Cork enough. Enough cork. Yeah, so that's another thing about folk music, I guess. Syntactical inversions. They're kind of one of the cheesier lyrical techniques, but sometimes you need them because it helps things fit into the rhythm, and it does sound a bit more archaic. It sounds more time appropriate. So enough cork doesn't really fit, but cork enough does. No one would speak that way now, but yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Cork enough. Okay, so we've got store the rum and bring down the barrel, la la la, and cork enough. Okay, that sounds alright. Cork well enough. Cork well enough again. That's kind of really leaning on the syntactical inversion and the wordiness, but sea shanties and folk songs are wordy, so I should probably just embrace it. I don't need to do it line by line. I'm usually bad at that, so I might just keep that noted down for now and do the next bit. I could go straight to the chorus for a while, actually. Verses are hard. And I'm not going to do more than one verse here. It's too much to repeatedly write like 10 verses, whereas the chorus at least is repeated a lot. So I'm just going to go straight to the chorus, actually. I'm not giving up. I will get back to the verse, but for now, yeah. Okay, so now luckily I have the song title already, so really I have at least one line of the chorus. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have to fit it in somewhere. It might just be the first line of the chorus, so let's see. What was I doing melodically? La, 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 la. Ship shape. Yeah, probably shouldn't do the Cockney voice. Ship shape Bristol Fashion. As I said, not the best song. Not the best singer. Ship shape Bristol Fashion. Higher. Need to go higher. We're ship shape I just need to sing a bit louder, don't I? Ship shape Bristol Fashion. That's it. Ship shape Fashion. So wait, I'm just saying Ship, Shape, Bristol Fashion there, really. I need to have it more. We're Ship, Shape and in Bristol Fashion. Yeah. We're Ship, Shape and in Bristol Fashion. That sounds about right. We're Ship, Shape. Being Ship, Shape and in Bristol Fashion means getting ready. So the verses of kind of what lyrics I've written so far kind of tackle that. So I feel at this point, yeah, it just needs to be about being ready to go on the journey. Because I'm saying we're Ship Shape, we're Bristol Fashion, we're ready, we're good to go. So Okay, I'm just repeating the melody at this point. Mainsail, right? Ready the mainsail. That's a thing people say. People say that. I'm gonna steal that. I think I said this before. Melodically, rhythmically, and harmonically in terms of the chords you're choosing, you're not trying to do the most innovative thing in the world. So especially for this is just kind of an exercise in writing a song. I'm not going to be too fussed if I kind of steal ideas a bit brazenly. It's kind of what folk music is. It's what a lot of music is, to be quite honest. So readying the mainsail, and yeah, I feel like I'm just going to take that. Maybe I'll just fit that into whatever the melody I have so far. So what was it? We'll ready the mainsail, la 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 la. Fits. Ready the mainsail, da 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 da. Right, so we got we're Ship, Shape and Bristol Fashion. We'll ready the mainsail, la 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 la. Okay, that actually works. I'm quite happy with that. That's decent. Ready the mainsail and I always like heave. I always like the verb heave. And I like the past tense hove. It sounds very cool. Hove. But I'm not going to use the past because the song is in the present tense. So I should stick to that. Even though I like hove, I'll use heave. Heave. That's what I was going for. Sorry, I actually left for a while and came back, so I got distracted. But heave. Yes. Ready the mainsail and heave to sea. No, we're going to the C there. Right, go to the C. Okay. That's confusing. Lyrically, C and also the C chord. Ready the mainsail and heave to sea. Heave her to sea because she's a ship. Right. That's it. So what I did there for a bit, I edited it out. I actually went away and did something else for a bit, and I think it helps actually. Yeah. Come back a bit re-energized. That's what's happened there. Yes, that's another thing to recommend. If you're writing a song and you're just beating your head against the wall, take a break for a bit. You know, you don't need to work on one thing specifically for much longer than, say, 20 minutes or half an hour sometimes. It kind of diminishing returns after a while, so just take a break. That's what I do. Okay. I've got the first line. The second line, we're not quite there, so... What did I say? We're ready the mainsail and heave her to sea. We're ready the mainsail and heave her to sea. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, so... I think I'm going to go for a rhyme here. Rhyming is always hard. Like, folk songs, you don't need to rhyme them, but for this kind of catchy sing-along style, it's good to have a rhyme. It really strengthens the melody and it strengthens the kind of lyrical themes, I guess. But to be honest, I always just use a rhyming dictionary. So I'm going to rhyme it with fashion. What rhymes with fashion? I'm probably going to have to use a rhyming dictionary here. Fashion. Shun. To shun something. No, it doesn't work. This is the thing. Rhymes can sound very hackneyed and rubbish if you're too obviously reaching for a rhyme. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to... Yeah, rhyming dictionary. Rhyming dictionary it is for me. Sorry, let's look at some more. Passion, ration. No, wait, whoa, okay, ration. Rations. Yes, because ships need rations, so I'm going to roll with that. Or I could rhyme with C. No, ration is good. Rations is good. Rations is a better rhyme, actually, than something rhyming with C. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to do that. So, we're ship, shaping in Bristol fashion, ready the mainsail and eager to sea. La, 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 rations. Mind the rations. We're gonna mind them. Yeah. La, 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 mind the rations. La, 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 la. Keep stock, mind the rations. So we've got kind of a symmetry. We'll go for like a symmetrical kind of line in a way. Not symmetrical. Repetitive in a way, I guess. So verb, noun, and verb, noun. Something, yeah, take stock, mind the rations. See what I mean? Verb, noun, verb, noun. You've got to keep your syntax and your sentences quite simple with this. Take stock, mind the rations. That's quite good, actually. It has a good rhythm to it. It'd be quite easy to write, have a few people sing along with this, and it would sound good. Yeah. I should try singing along. We're ship, shaping in Bristol fashion, ready the mainsail and eager to sea. Take stock, mind the rations. I like that. And then he goes. Okay, let's check the rhyming dictionary. Let's see what it gives me for C. Oh, way too many. Most of these do not look good. Shabbily. Feathery. Green tea. I mean, they could have green tea stocked on the ship. I don't feel like that's appropriate. Or just tea generally. It doesn't need to be green tea. Drafty. Plea. Knee. Flea. Okay, flea could work. No, but it would be fleas. Yeah, I don't want to be that kind of gross. I mean, ships back then would have been very gross, but I don't need to go down the route of fleas and gangrene, which also kind of half rhymes. Gangrene, yeah. No, I don't think I will. Will I rhyme? Right. The ship's in ship shape, Bristol fashion. Cool. We've got the bit that says the title. Good. Ready the mainsail. Heave it to sea. Take stock. Mind the rations. Why do we why do we do that? I think that's probably the best way to go. Take stock. Like, for me, going through lyrics, I have to do it like logically. Like, why have I done the last thing, or why am I doing this, and what are we doing? And that's where I kind of come from. So I need to, yeah. So I wonder if I could inject a bit of humour here. So why do we take stock and why do we mind the rations? Because we want to live. We don't want to starve. We don't want to get gangrene. So I could fit gangrene in here. Don't want to get gangrene. No. Take stock and mind the rations. We need to get home, I think. I think I'm going to roll with something like that. We'll need enough to get home. We'll need enough to get home. Take stock and mind the rations. We'll need enough to get home. Take stock, mind the rations. We'll need enough to get home. We'll need enough to get home. Yeah. We're ship shaping in Bristol fashion. No, I can't sing. I keep getting that line wrong. We're ship, shaping in Bristol fashion. We're ship, shaping in Bristol fashion. Ready the mainsail and heel to sea. Take stock and mind the rations. We'll need enough to get home. Okay. Home. Verse again. So I think that, yeah, that kind of goes around in a loop well, but oh my god, there's so many gaps still. Ugh. I think I've got the chorus. Yeah, okay, so I've got the chorus. Now, where were we with the verse? So I had store the rum and bring down the barrels, water aplenty and cork well enough. Right, okay, so I'm just gonna, again, I'm gonna go for a rhyme. I'm gonna rhyme enough with something. So the rhyme scheme's not gonna be, yeah, okay. I'll vaguely go for an A, B rhyme scheme, I think. So the next line after well enough won't rhyme with well enough, but the line after that will. So, yeah. If I go for that line and then work backwards. Enough. Am I going to go for the rhyming dictionary again? No, I'll actually try to think of a word. Rough. Rough. Seas are rough. Seas get rough. Weather gets rough. Rough weather. Chances? Rough? Yeah, no. Chances are rough. Rough chances? No, it's not quite the same. Rough seas, but we need rough at the end of the line. Weather, rough. Weather is rough. Water plenty and cork well enough. La 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 la. Rough. Oh my lord. You're getting there. Right, again, I went away for a bit, had a bit of a break. I'm not any further with it, really. That last line, okay, so I got weather rough weather. Weather is rough, weather isn't rough. We don't want the weather to be rough, so maybe I'll say the weather isn't rough. This is where my approach becomes obvious that it's a little bit haphazard, a little bit all over the place. I think I'll go back to that third line in the verse. So we've got stow the rum, bring down the barrels, water aplenty and cork well enough. Something. Weather isn't rough. Weather ain't rough. I'm going to roll with that. Weather ain't rough. A bit more slangy, a bit more... It is appropriate to the kind of time period that I'm trying to go for here, though. Ain't has been attested to in the English language for hundreds of years. So, yeah, it's appropriate, it's relevant, it works. Weather ain't rough. What do we do? See, I've not established whether this is like a pirate ship or naval merchant vessel. I kind of don't need to decide until I decide. So... They've got the rations. They've got all the kind of... I've covered all the boring bases, I feel. You know, we've got the water, we've got the rum. Okay, rum's not boring. We've got the rum, we've got the water, we've got the cork. We've got the rations. We're ready. So... trying to think of things from the kind of golden age of maritime exploration that could fit here. Gold. Booty. Is it a whaling ship, maybe? Could be a whaling ship. Spices, I guess. Feels a bit older. It feels more like 14th century. I don't know. What else? Fishing. Could be a fishing ship. So what are they doing, I guess? Well, it depends what fits. So, we sail the ocean. Again, feels like it's a cliched image or line, but I'm just gonna go for it. It's a sea shanty. Cliche and stereotypical kind of language works. Sail the oceans, we sail the oceans, sail the oceans, sail the oceans, for gold and fishing. No. Gold. I kind of want more syllables in gold. Gold bullion, I think. Again, it starts to feel a bit more kind of Spanish, high imperial kind of era bullion. Feels a bit more kind of Pirates of the Caribbean if I use bullion, but I think I'm just going to use it. Bullion. Sail the ocean, bullion. We sail the ocean, la la la, bullion. La 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 la, weather ain't rough. Okay. Right. Having thought about it a bit, that fits. That fits. Sail the ocean for spices and bullion. See, I'm really sticking to the very simple melody I kind of sketched out in the first place, which, yeah, would be nice if I stretched it a bit more, but maybe if I wait until I've got all the lyrics and then come back to that, because it's very much just kind of going along with the chords in quite a simple way, which might not be a problem. I'll see, but I'm not quite happy with it yet. So, hope to hell the weather ain't rough. I don't know. I don't think that works. We sail the oceans. Yeah, we sail the oceans for spices and bullion. Hope to hell. No, pray to God. Pray to God. No, I mean actually it fits. So wait, if I have that, I have all of it really. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. We would have it all if I just rolled with that, but it doesn't seem quite right. The ocean for spices and bullion on Southern Ocean where the weather ain't rough. I've got it all typed up. Let's try to sing it all the way through, and I might need to amend bits or something. Or add words. Yeah, okay, so when adding it in, I added the odd word. Because before I was saying ready the mainsail and heave her to sea. But we'll ready the mainsail and heave her to sea. Boys, I think works. You really got to get that somewhere in, like lads, boys, crew. And I think had I people to accompany the vocals, that's where people would go, boys. So let's see how it sounds. Let's see how I can do this. I think this kind of makes sense. Okay. So to take it kind of through the way I went through it, I got this rhythm, which is a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is that 6/8 rhythm. Nice and simple, very common in folk music, but also all music. Okay, and then we had very simple chords, really, going kind of 1, 6, 3, 1, 4, 5. Yeah. I'm just distracting myself so I don't have to sing it yet. I'm procrastinating a bit on this, but I'll do it. Try to sing where we got to with it, so... I hope I remember the melody. Stow the rum and bring down the barrels, water aplenty and cork well enough. Sail the ocean for spices and bullion, southern seas where the weather ain't rough. Okay, so I need to go into the chorus. I shouldn't hang on it as long there. I should just go straight into the chorus. Stow the rum and bring down the barrels, water aplenty and cork well enough. Sail the ocean for spices and bullion, southern ocean where the weather ain't rough. We're ship, shape and Bristol Fashion, ready the mainsail and heaver to sea, boys. Take stock, mind the ration, we'll need enough to get home. Stow the... Oh, I keep getting that bit wrong. I think you get the idea though, I think you get the idea. I've done this relatively quickly, hence why the melody is a bit boring, and why my singing is shaky, to say the least. And there's only one verse and a chorus. So, yeah, depending upon what kind of reach or reaction this video gets, I might complete the song and try to actually sing it properly. For people who are just kind of getting into sea shanties, I guess I would recommend a few bands. The band which is taken off now, deservedly so, and who seem to have started this current trend, are the Longest Johns, who weirdly are also based in Bristol like me. They're great. Obviously the Wellerman's a great song, they do a great version of it. But for me, Stan Rogers is, I mean, he's kind of more generally a folk singer. He does some kind of country stuff as well, but he is a brilliant songwriter. He died in 1983, so he's got some great songs. I would definitely recommend people checking him out. Barrett's Privateers is one of the most famous ones, and that's great. Northwest Passage is brilliant, but he does great versions of tons of old, because those two are originals, and they're great. But he also does lots of older traditional folk songs and sea shanties, as well as writing a bunch of other great original songs, a lot of which actually has accompaniment. And his songs are almost invariably sea-based. There's lots of songs about ships. That's pretty much it. I feel, back to the song itself that I wrote, I feel there are bits throughout it where maybe if I were to do this, if I had, it's lockdown, there's no band rehearsal, so I never get to see my band. But if I were doing it with a band with like vocalists, I think there are certain points going through the lyrics now where I think you could have people, it's almost like a refrain through the verse where people join in, and you hear it quite a lot in this style as well. So let's just think about the first line, like, stow the rum and bring down the barrels. Maybe stow the rum and bring down the barrels. Have like a few people join in on the bass and kind of tenor part. Yeah, if people like this and if people think this is a valuable video, I might try to finish the song and try to record it. I need to practice it. I'm still not on top of the melody completely. But yeah. Shout out in the comments if you like the song, or if you have any requests or tips, or you want tips. I don't know. Maybe you have tips on how I can put my videos together. Let's see how this goes. I need to edit this down. Let's see how it goes. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for watching.